we're not here to get you. But you've got to understand, you're in junior high now. This goes in the computer, on your record.
Hey, Weena, what are you looking at?
Nothing. You didn't come in here to wash your hands. Yes, I did.
Hi, Dawn. We were just wondering, are you a lesbian?
Welcome to the show, everybody. Today we're discussing the 1995 film Welcome to the Dollhouse. Welcome to the Dollhouse was directed by Todd Soldondz. Soldondz. I'm forgetting right away how to pronounce it, but he is a strange director with some weird movies like Happiness and Storytelling. And this is, I think, is a debut or one of his early films, and it's hard to watch at times. Seeing it for the second time, many years, I had a similar feeling like I did the first time I saw it, and that is this girl, this young lady is a middle schooler, and she's mercilessly bullied. She's just this unsocial, disaffected youth, the glasses. She has the younger sibling who's doted on and favored, an older brother who's geeky as well as she is, but he just doesn't pay attention to her and has his own interests. And you just sort of cringe at the way she's attacked. I mean, and this is not for easy watching. You know, this is a classmate threatening to rape her. Okay, we have to get that out because that's part of the storyline. That's how you watch this and you see a girl who you feel like this is actual, like you're watching a documentary in the sense that you could see this happening. You feel like the director understands the details because they're laid out and they're very particular. Where you think, oh, I could see this happening, and there's little things like her last name is Wiener, so they call her Wiener Dog, and you feel this sadness for this kid. But having watched it this time around, I noticed something about her. She is not somebody who you can say that she's a perfect little child, that she's the golden child. She has her own problems. I really appreciated the film in that this is a complex character, and those people around her, like her parents, her teacher. I have some problems with how she was treated at the school. This is a teaching channel, and I'll bring that out right now. But I did really like this movie when I've seen it in the past. I like it now. Hard to watch at times, but you appreciate the reality, and it wells in you this sympathy, this empathy for this kid and for kids in general. You don't know what they're going through, and sometimes a kid just needs a listening ear. You really sense that when you watch this. This girl just needs a friend, even an adult she can rely on, who she can feel safe around. And her parents, and as insufferable as she is at times, this kid needs a break. What'd you think, Jacob?
No, to go along with what you just shared, I think she needed a father too. Her father just wasn't strong. He at one point he tells her, "Just go along with your mom, like just don't cause any havoc." And you could see right away that he's the weak one, right? And even when something happens to the younger daughter, he just falls apart. And so I didn't know this room, but I just found out recently that they're doing a movie called, I think, Wiener Dog, based on the characters here. I'm not sure how that looks or what it's about, but I know it's based on this film and same director. But with her, I will say this, and the reason why I like this film is because it got me a little emotional thinking about my junior high years. I was telling Kim, I hated junior high. My son Orion loved junior high. He had a good time. I had an awful time. I was in choir. I was tormented. And in the film, you see this young lady being tormented. What I thought was good about it is because it was real. She's not a perfect child here. She's not the like this angel at all. She acts out on it. She's hurting inside, you know it. So she lashes out on a little sister or her friend Ralphie, who's elementary school. So she doesn't have anybody her age, like you were sharing, that she could talk to or an adult. And so because of that, I remember lashing out even on you and just on other people, just because I had a ugly, terrible time in middle school. I was the shortest kid in my class. I was the smallest kid in my class, and so I just could understand what she was going through, and she went through a lot. Some of the lines in the film, Ruben, there was one that really hit me, where this young lady is bullying her in the restroom, I believe, and she says, this character named Dawn Wiener says to this bully, "Why do you hate me?" And she goes, "Because you're ugly." I'm like, man, that's such powerful. And she's told she's ugly over and over again. And it's just for a young man it's terrible, but I think for a young lady, it's even more so because society builds up women to be beautiful and makeup and clothing. And so she's really getting a lot and this negative talk. And even her mother not really listening to her, paying attention to her, like you shared, Ruben, paying attention to the little one that they're doting on, and you just feel for this kid. I like this film, and Kimberly, I will say this, so I had seen it before. Ruben, this is weird. I feel like maybe because I'm getting old, I couldn't remember anything about the film. And Kim goes, "We saw this." I go, "I know we saw it. I just don't remember it." She saw a piece of it with me. She goes, "It's a little uncomfortable. It's not a movie to make. If you're gonna watch this film, there's a lot of uncomfortable scenes." And you shared one regarding this young man who says he wants this boy really wants to rape her, and he says he's a raper, but he
And
hasn't. Yeah,
I say that because it gives a flavor of what's happening so that people don't go in thinking, oh, this is just a little kid. No, this is intense.
it's an
And
intense
so
film.
I do appreciate some of the little details. For example, I remember my friend and I it's a comedy. So you have to keep that in mind too. It is a comedy, but I had a friend at the music center. We used to laugh at the scene where they were in a band. Her older brother's in a band, a garage band. They literally this in the garage, and they're just high schoolers practicing, and they sound terrible. But that's funny. They're playing, and you could make out that they're playing a Rolling Stone Satisfaction. I think they were playing that song.
And the
You
brother
can
plays the
make it out.
clarinet.
Yes. But yet it's not good. And around the dinner table, the boy who's is a nerd says, "Oh, I'm asking Steve Rogers from school. He's the most popular boy in school to be in the band. I think it'd be really good that we have him in our band and that we get better because it'll be really good for my transcript." And I just thought that sentence was really funny
Mm.
and true. It's just right. Like this director, Todd Soldondz, just understands kids and their motivations really well.
Yeah.
This teacher, I'll say this too, that this teacher at one point, she's Dawn, it's her name in the movie, is getting bullied by this
Yeah.
boy behind her. And the teacher is in this mentality of it takes two to tango, right? I'm going to get them both in trouble. And there's such a temptation to do that. I noticed that, but you really need to be mindful of your classmate, of your students, and if a kid is getting picked on, because sometimes you can't see it, but you got to really pay attention to the details in the class. Because I got a notice about a kid in my class getting picked on by another kid, and I didn't see it until I started paying attention really intently. So sometimes you can't just throw, a blanket punishment like that. Oh, you're both in trouble. No, one is absorbing these blows here, and it's not good. So, any last words on Welcome to the Dollhouse?
No, I would say this though. I think it's still worth watching. I remember watching the first time. I don't remember the film, but I remember the feeling I got was, oh, I feel horrible. This time I felt a little different. I felt like, yes, there was some ugly scenes or some ugly situations, but overall, I said, wow, this is good for someone to watch, especially a new teacher, just like and things that you just shared regarding keep your eyes open. Kids who are getting picked on, kids who are not feeling that they're being listened to. Because even if she had one teacher just to sit down with her and talk to her and say, "Hey, how are you doing? I see that you're not doing well, or I see that you're sad," or I think that's important. And so because of that, I think it's good to watch this film, especially if you're just entering education. But yeah, I really can't recommend it more. It's one of our better ones.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.